So now you've got your teacup made, we're going to make a saucer to go underneath the teacup. So let's go up the top to this little window and just close that, so we got one screen. Press 1. What we're going to do is just move this cup up, because the saucer is going to sit underneath it. We're going to leave the cup there for now just to get a size for the saucer, so we don't make the saucer too big or too small. So push on, make sure you're in object mode, so push Shift A. Circle. So before you do anything, before you move the circle or do anything, we're going to change the how many sides or vertices the circle has. I'm going to change it to 64 and push enter. Right, and then we better go fill type. We've got to fill, make it an n-gon will be fine. And then we're going to shrink it down to the size of the base of that cup. So you can either do it from the top or the bottom. If you do it from the bottom, it might be easier. However, if you do it from the top, you can do it in X-ray mode like that. That still looks a bit difficult though. So just push S to scale. And that will scale down properly. Just make it maybe a bit bigger than the base of the cup. Right, and we're also going to fill the base properly anyway. So push tab to go into edit mode and push I to inset. Just push and push enter or left click on your mouse. Then push I to inset again and left click on the mouse. Control M for merge and merge at center. So that's, you can see that a bit better in that angle there. That's the back face. That's why it's all dark. That's why you couldn't see it properly. Whereas that's lighter. That's the proper side. So go into edge select mode. Control tab and push edge select, or select it from down here. Hold down tab and select the outside ring. It might take you a couple of goes because you might accidentally get one of those edges. But select the outside ring. And we want to extrude it out. So push E and then push S and pull it out. Just a little bit. And then you can drag it up. So that's sort of the part where the teacup sits in the saucer. And then you can push, this is the part where you can just make your own teacup and a saucer and just sort of experiment and just sort of make it how you like. But I'm going to push E and then S again and extrude that out. Well, it's extruded when I pushed E, then when I press S, it starts scaling that extrusion. So might scale that in a little bit and then push E and S again and just bring it down a slight amount. Push E and S to there. Don't put too many loops in or extrude it too much because it'll be too much to adjust on a later basis. So just keep that in mind as well. E and S. Just push 7 on the number pad I'm going to do to make sure it's not too big. Looks a bit big. So I might scale that back down a bit. That's about right. It looks not too bad with the handle not too far from the edge there, so that's fine. I'm going to grab that last edge loop up. Again, if you've got reference material, do use it. It is very helpful. And that's probably going to be about right for this. Now I'm going to make the wavy pattern around the outside. So Control Tab to vertex mode. Push A just to make sure everything's deleted. Everything's not selected. So I like to see that everything is selected first. And then when I push A, I know that there's nothing selected. So that's always a good tip that I like to use. I'll push 7 to go into the 7 on the number pad, thing on the top view. And just go and select every second one, holding down Shift so they stay selected. And don't forget to pause the video every time you need to go back and have a look at things. So everyone's second one's selected, so that's cool. Now we're going to scale those out. So when you're scaling out, a lot of the times if you want to scale straight out, if everything's on that exact one axis, so that's on the x-axis, or x and y, but if you had a vertex down here selected and you wanted to scale, the scale and scale between all of these and this one. So then you'd actually need to go on, I need to scale on the, I'll do it from here. I need to, then if you need to scale those out, you need to go scale and then hold it to a specific axis to scale it out. But because we're not going to use this one and they're all on the same plane, we can just push scale. We don't need to go Shift Z. That's not necessary. It doesn't need it. So, right now, so do scale it out an amount that you might think look okay. I want you to have a better look at it. Of course, you can push Control and 3 on the keyboard to see sort of how it's looking. If you want more, scale it out more. And that probably about suits the cup for this instance. If I push Tab, it goes into object mode and it shows it more too. That looks about right. I'm happy with that. However, I thought I'd like a bit more of a sort of a dip in the saucer. So you could grab a loop and pull it down a bit. Grab that one and pull it down a bit too. It's a bit better. I'm going to keep it with that. So now, go over to the side here and just get rid of this subdivision surface altogether. I'm going to add a solidify modifier to add some thickness to this saucer. Now push Tab to go back into object mode if you're not in object mode, and zoom in so you can sort of see the edge, because now you want to add the thickness. Have a good look around. Make it a bit thicker than what you want, because once this is applied and the subdivision surface is applied, it will look thinner. I'm going to use that. It's 0.05 on thickness, and I'm going to apply it. So it's gone very thin, hasn't it? What's happened there? Have I done the wrong thing? I didn't apply it, did I? Okay, that's applied. Now, if you want to put your subdivision surface modifier back on, you can do that. And then have a good look at it. See how it's gotten a bit thinner on the edge. I always make sure my render's at 3 to match the view. So that's what I'm going to render out at the end. And to get rid of all those little lines, we're going to go over the side, the left-hand side, and click Smooth Shading. So now when you're editing, you can click this I button to get rid of that subdivision surface view. Right, now to fix the bottom of this cup saucer up, I'm going to select that middle vertex, hold down Control, and on the number pad push plus, 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 minus. I'm going to delete all those vertex. So push X, vertices. Now select that one. So hold down Alt. Push F. Now push Insert. Let's bring it up a bit. I'll insert that one more time, and then Alt M merge at center. Now for this one, I'm going to put a little ring on the bottom and extrude it down. So I can do that by Control R and click it once, then drag it in, then left click it again. Now Control Tab to face mode. Alt, select that, extrude it down. So push E, extrude it down. Let's have a look at that. That looks about right anyway. However, we've got that rippling effect in the center. Let's get rid of that. Control Alt, sorry, not Control Alt. Control 7 on the numpad will bring us from any view to bottom view. So 7 is top view, Control is the opposite. Control 7 is the opposite. So if I want to go into vertex mode and delete that vertex. Face, insert, and insert, and then Alt M, merge at center. And that's going to give us a better looking bottom of our cup. If anyone wants to see it, that is. So that's the saucer done. So if you're in object mode, that's good. Stay there. Delete, not delete the cup, but H to hide it. And now we're going to do the pattern on our cup. So let's go and make a material on this right hand side. New. We're going to use the cup material. We're going to just place a plus so it copies it, but it still makes, I'm going to rename it to saucer. S-A-U-S-E-R? Oh, no. saucer. And then we're going to go back, drag this window out at the top. Press T, get rid of that bar and that one. I don't want them. Now we're going to do, well, open another window actually. Open a couple of windows at a time. So one can be the node editor, one can be the UV image editor. So of course we need to UV unwrap this. So push 7. We're going to unwrap it from the top view. It's going to be the easiest thing to do. But I want to make a seam actually, so let's just select the outside edge. Press T to bring that back and mark a seam. I'll push T again to get rid of it. Press 7. Push A twice. I'll push Z to go into X-ray mode. Now push U. We're going to unwrap. Now what we want is we don't want the cup pattern. We need to open the file here first. So base color image texture. I'm going to open source pattern. So again, in the description, there's a link to the source pattern. You'll only have the correct one to choose from, so you won't have to select this. Okay, there we go. So that's our source pattern in there. I might just drag that up a bit. So this pattern here, this circle, we don't want. That's the bottom of the cup. So go to Island, select down here. Select all that. Scale it down and press G and grab it. Oh, we can even put it off the side because that'll be white as this tile repeats forever in Blender. Now with this one selected, select it, grab it, and put it over here. Now, that's not a circle of flowers, but that's okay. We're going to manipulate this UV pattern to make this look like a circle. So, over here, if we were just Control Z to get our pattern on that, that's fine, it's not right. I've just had to go into edit mode to see this. Now, it'll work out how to do this. Scale. Looks like scale on the y-axis. We're going to scale the whole thing bigger because I want it bigger. And now we can push on this one, proportional editing, and we can just grab, sorry, I've got to go down to vertex select, and then we can grab a vertex, push G, and watch the thing on the side move around. Push G. It sort of moves the opposite way you think, so that's the sort of confusing part. You can scroll your mouse wheel in and out to get the size right. And when you think you've got it how you like, I won't get too carried away, but then there's a pattern in your saucer. So if you wanted to move that pattern, push A, select the whole thing, or go into island select, select the whole thing. You can just scale that. Sorry, we do have to disable proportional editing. So you can push O on the number pad to do that. And it's not scaling correctly. So push right click. The reason it hasn't scaled correctly is because we should go into island select and select this one. Because what happened is, if you just push A, it selects the whole model. And so this other part that was sort of out of sight was selected as well. Now you select it and put the pattern where you want. I'll put mine there, that's fine. Happy with that. Now basically that's our saucer done. We can unhide our cup. And just get all this stuff back in order. Close all your windows or do whatever you like on the cup. So it's, the pattern sort of matches that. At least it's the same sort of thing. They're all like roses. Those ones are supposed to be roses anyway. I just found these places off the internet under what is it? It's like a free licensing pictures on Google Images. License free or something. Circle. This circle. What is that circle? Okay. So now we've found out that circle is our saucer. And the cylinder is our cup. It's always good to name things. It just makes things easier. It's not a huge drama for us right now because we've only got 2 objects. But if you've got 20 objects, it makes a big difference. You might even put the cup in the saucer part. So then you got a cup and saucer. So if you move the cup, the saucer stays with it. Exactly like that. Of course, it only works if you actually select the cup first. Or you can also move the saucer separately. But anyway, enough of that. That's just a small thing. Anyway, that concludes this video. Next we'll make a table in the next video.